tonight we're going to be covering Iron Man 2? 1? No, 3! We're covering Iron Man 3! Yes, there's 3. Most videos, when they get to the third iteration, or sometimes even just the first iteration is bad enough. Police Academy.
Hey, now Police Academy 6 was kind of okay. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, if you were in a coma. Anyway, the Iron Man 3, I got a chance to watch this. So did several other people here on the show. You know, I watched some other reviews on this, and they talked about how the Mandarin had some kind of rings or whatever. And I looked this up, and he's supposed to have special powers with this ring. I'm sorry, if you haven't seen the movie, turn off
Spoiler alert.
These are spoilers. So, but the thing is, in this, they didn't cover the power rings that he had. They were left it out for some reason. I have no idea why they left it out. But you know what? I don't think the story needed it. I mean, the story is just introducing the concept of the Mandarin. I mean, I didn't know that much about the bad guy in this case. So, personally, I didn't miss anything. I thought the fact that he was able to fucking breathe fire was kind of cool in itself. But overall, I think they did the right thing without leaving all the extra stuff. I mean, in some cases, I've seen movies where I was like, yeah, I wish they had included this, or they kind of pushed the storyline a little too fast. But in this instance, I think they did the right thing. Joe, your thoughts?
I didn't like this movie. I thought it was a piece. A friend of mine, Dealey, she's a comic book guru, and she was all excited that the Mandarin was going to be the... I intentionally wrote up a review of this movie without mentioning this Mandarin thing, because it is such a spoiler, but you spoiled it, so I can talk about it now. She said to me, she's like, yeah, I saw it at the midnight showing, and I'm a little disappointed because of a bad decision they made in the story. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, well, don't tell me. I'll go watch it, and I'll see what you're talking about. I'm sitting there like 3/4 of the way into the movie, and boom, there you see it. It turns out that the Mandarin isn't this supervillain. It's just Ben Kingsley pretending to be an actor, and it's such BS. It's like, oh, come on. Are you serious? Because Roger Ebert once said, and I think we mentioned this on the show before, that a good superhero is defined by his supervillain. And in this movie, they dropped the ball on the supervillain. They were able to come up with these characters that could heat up and shoot fire out of their mouths, but they couldn't come up with a way to explain the Mandarin having power rings. So they made him into an actor. It was terrible. I was very disappointed. On top of that,
I thought that was like kind of an interesting twist on it.
All right, let's put that aside. Let's look at it from a different point of view. I'm sitting there watching this movie, and through most of the movie, Iron Man is running around without his suit on.
Yes.
Tony Stark's suit, most of the suits were buried in his house. The one he has is damaged very badly. It can't hold a charge for some reason. And he's running around with a gun and homemade weapons, breaking into mansions and shit. And I'm sitting there watching this like, am I watching Iron Man? Like, what the fuck movie is this? So at the end of the movie, it's starting to wrap up, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I feel like I just watched Lethal Weapon 2. Like, I don't know why, but I'm reminded of Lethal Weapon 2.
I actually like that part where he's actually... he showed how innovative he was with just a few pieces of equipment. It shows his genius, actually, I thought.
Well, I mean, all right, so I go home, after I watch the movie, I look on Rotten Tomatoes, and Rotten Tomatoes, like, everybody's ranting and raving about the movie. Like, most people are like, oh, this movie was so awesome, I can't believe how good it was. I'm like, yeah, you're the same people who like the Transformer franchise. So I start looking for the bad reviews, and somebody says, anyone who, let me find this guy's name. Yeah, Shane Black. They said anyone familiar with Shane Black's work will often feel a sense of deja vu. So I'm like, Shane Black? Who the heck is that? So I go look it up. There's this big controversy. Jon Favreau directed the first 2 Iron Man movies. And then he dropped out of directing Iron Man 3. And people were like, why? Why would you walk away from the franchise? Like, we need you to finish this. Like, you know? And he's like, listen, he said this in an interview. He's like, Disney offered me the chance to direct a new theme park ride, and I can't pass up that opportunity. Wait, what? 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 So they got this guy Shane Black to direct the movie, and he's only directed 2 movies before. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and Iron Man 3.
Oh, jeez.
Outside of that, he's a screenwriter. What is he known for? He wrote Lethal Weapon 2.
We know Lethal Weapon 2 was not the greatest.
Lethal Weapon 2 was decent. I liked it. I grew up watching that movie. I had it on a VHS tape.
Well, there
It's because it's entertaining. I mean, that's ultimately
they
the
fuck
question.
you in the drive-thru.
It's good. It's entertaining, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, Iron Man 3 was entertaining, but I was kind of disappointed from a comic book movie point of view, you know?
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, personally,
understand
I'm not a comic book guy, but I do like cinema. I didn't think it was a great movie, but it was entertaining. I enjoyed watching it. It didn't fail me in a certain amount of time spent watching a film, you know?
Right. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Which is basically, that's Lethal Weapon 2.
I will agree, like, I didn't feel like, wow, I just wasted 2 hours of my life, but I wasn't as happy as I was with the first two Iron Man movies. And there was a few points in the movie where I felt like, all right, this is kind of dragging. We got 2 hours and 15 minutes of Robert Downey Jr. running around and making shit from Home Depot.
No, I agree. Like, he's making shit from Home Depot. He's roughing it the whole movie. And he doesn't have a suit. He doesn't have shit. This
is how billionaires go camping.
He's the MacGyver of Iron Man.
The MacGyver of Iron Man.
Yeah, basically.
Just a quick question. Have you got a chance to see this movie there, Dylan?
I have, yeah. I've never been a huge fan of the Iron Man films. There's always been something lacking in them to me. I don't know what it is. I can't even pinpoint it. But I felt like this one sort of stepped up a wee bit. But at the same time, like you said, it's, you know, you stole my line, actually. I was going to say the exact same thing. He's kind of the MacGyver of the Iron Man world. You know. So that sort of lost a bit of impact for me. But it was all right. I didn't mind it.
That's cool. Did anybody else have any last comments on this before we move on?
Crystal's like, I was going to watch it, but you've gone and spoiled the whole damn thing for me.
Damn you.
Yeah, I'm sure, Crystal, you're a big Tony Stark fan, huh?
Robert Downey Jr. fan.
Yeah, well, yeah.
She thinks he's hot.
Hot.
Spelled H-A-W-T.
He's hot.
He's
He's hot.
Hot. The things she would do to him.
That's a show all by itself.
Yes. Let's not even get into that, all right?